Bulls Nation, during this All-Star game, we are going to experience and be honored to watch some Chicago Bulls players, well, to be honest, just Zach LaVine, perform at the All-Star game, perform in the All-Star game itself, and perform in the three-point contest. However, there is something that's been talked about a lot around the Chicago Bulls, especially towards that Rising Stars game, that ticks a lot of Chicago Bulls fans off, and that's two players that are eligible to play in this game were not selected in this Rising Stars game. And those two players are Patrick Williams and Coby White. And while the All-Star game is All-Star weekend is about to begin, and we're going to be experiencing a lot of very entertaining things as usual with this All-Star weekend, we're going to be talking about these two players and my personal opinion on if they deserve to be in this game or not. And without further ado, let's talk about that and let's discuss that in detail in this video. Let's do it. What's up, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today, we've got a Chicago Bulls video in relation to some of our players that were snubbed or potentially not snubbed out of this All-Star Rising Stars game for the Chicago Bulls. Those two players, obviously, we'll be discussing are Coby White and, of course, Patrick Williams, the rookie and the second G-man, both out of North Carolina, both of them having great seasons, in my opinion, but unfortunately, did not end up making that All-Star Rising Stars game with the Chicago Bulls. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on. Let me know in the comments below overall your thoughts about this, and overall, what do you guys think about these two players not making it. And before we go further into that, I've already talked about Zach LaVine making the All-Star game itself. So if you want to check out that video, it is going to be in a playlist on the Chicago Bulls, and it's a discussion video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that when it was posted. And if you're going to go back and watch that, hopefully you enjoy it as well. I have not talked about him too much as a three-point contest competitor. And again, I have been on the Zach LaVine bandwagon for quite some time now. And again, this season has just been another big step up. It's okay to criticize when he does poorly, and it's okay to big him up when he makes you proud, when he makes his team proud. And so far, this All-Star weekend, he has made us proud, because the fact that he's made it in this All-Star weekend, both as a three-point shot competitor and for the All-Star game itself, is something that we haven't experienced for a long, long time as Chicago Bulls fans. And the three-point contest, in my opinion, is something I'm hoping he wins. Because at the end of the day, this dude has been absolutely lethal in this game, in this All-Star season for the Chicago Bulls. But to be honest, I have a feeling he won't win this, because I feel like he's more of an in-game shooter than just a catch-and-shoot guy when there's nothing around him. But he's been absolutely sensational from the three-point line this season. He's been one of the best players in the league from the three-point line. And he's going up against some really serious competitors up there. But my faith and, of course, my support goes to Zach LaVine at that three-point contest. And hopefully he can pick up a win and take something home for the Chicago Bulls to be very happy about. And, of course, I'll be extremely happy to see Zach LaVine win that three-point contest if it does happen. And again, maybe that will keep him going, keep him very motivated for the second half of the season, knowing he brought something home to Chicago. Now let's talk about why you guys are probably here. Let's talk about the Rising Stars game. Now, of course, in saying that, there are two players that, in my opinion, from the Chicago Bulls, probably has a right to say there's a spot for them on this team, the Rising Stars game. And the two players are Patrick Williams and Coby White. So the first thing I want to do is talk about the rookie Patrick Williams, because in my opinion, with Patrick Williams, I think there's a lot of hype around Patrick Williams, and I think there's a lot of potential around Patrick Williams. And I think, despite what anybody says, when it's all said and done, most of these people in this list that have made the All-Star Rising Stars game will not have better careers than Patrick Williams. I'm certain of that. And maybe I'll be wrong down the line, but as of this point in time, I solely believe Patrick Williams will have a fantastic career and better career than what a lot of these players may experience. But at this point in time, I don't think Patrick Williams has earned a spot necessarily in this Rising Stars game. He's done very, very well for the Chicago Bulls, don't get me wrong. He's one of the only players on this list to start nearly every single game on this team. He's one of the players that has done great defensively and offensively. He's shown so much potential. He's shown he can be aggressive. He's shown that he can grab rebounds. He's done tremendous things in his first season. But when you look at the competition that's there for that forward position for Patrick Williams, you're talking at the likes of Zion Williamson, who's an all-star. He's not going to get ahead of Zion Williamson. Michael Porter Jr. is having a fantastic year for the Denver Nuggets. Probably not going to get ahead of him. Potentially, even Keldon Johnson's having an amazing year for the Spurs, averaging nearly 15 points per game. So the forward positions is something, in my opinion, if you're targeting for the forwards, Patrick Williams is just not there yet. So I don't feel like that is the biggest snub in the world to take Patrick Williams away. But at the end of the day, as a Bulls fan, there is some bias there. And I do believe Patrick Williams is better than most of these players, if not nearly all these players on this list. So there is an element of bias and there's an element of anger that he's not here. But I think if you look at the face of it, if you look at the stats of these guys that are playing, I think there's some element of truth that Patrick Williams might not deserve to be here this season. But next season is a whole different season for Patrick Williams. Next season, he'll have a whole season in the NBA. He'll have potentially a summer league, potentially a better preseason. And obviously, he'll have a whole summer to work on his game after 1 year in the NBA. He's going to be developing that aggression. He's going to be developing that potential. And that is when it's a scary sight for this league, because he barely didn't make it. The only real people that made it was the top 3 in the NBA draft and Tyrese Halliburton. There are obviously been very good players in this rookie draft class this season, but Patrick Williams, in my opinion, will be the one in the long run to have the better of those careers. So it is what it is. It's not the worst case scenario for me that he's not here, but of course I would have liked to see him here as well. Maybe next year he will be in this Rising Stars game, and maybe more. We'll see. If he keeps shooting that 3-point shot and they keep going in, you could shout it for the 3-point contest sooner or later. Got to give him that respect. Let's talk about Coby White now, because in my opinion, Coby White has a lot better of a case to make that All-Star Rising Game challenge than a lot of these people. And what stuns me is that they have Anthony Edwards, who has been very good for the Timberwolves, don't get me wrong. Tyrese Halliburton, been fantastic for the Kings. And yes, Tyler Hero as well. These guys on the face of it deserve it. But if you look at the stats, and I'm targeting Tyler Hero here as well, because this is something that makes me very upset to not see Coby White here. Tyler Hero is averaging 16 points or 15 points, 15.8 points per game, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. And he's doing it on very efficient shooting as well. But the problem with Tyler Hero is he's only played 25 games of the season. He's been injured for a fair bit. His team has struggled since then as well. I just feel like Coby White, who's averaging 16.2 points per game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, also on efficient shooting, I just feel like Coby White had a little bit more to say because he's played every single game of this season. I don't think Coby White's missed a game this year. And I'm very upset to see that Tyler Hero got in over Coby White when Coby White has done more, averaging more, playing more games. And that is something that frustrates the life out of me. But again, that is someone that I feel has a case to be pushed. Coby White should be in this, in my opinion. If you're going to put Tyler Hero, if you're going to put Tyrese Halliburton and Anthony Edwards, I do not see any reason why Coby White can't be in here as well. So this is just one of the situations where I am very upset. I'm more upset that Coby White is not in this list than I am with Patrick Williams, because I feel like Coby White, despite what people say about him on the Bulls, despite him having a very down few weeks for the Bulls, he stepped it up and he's becoming someone that I believe is a very good player, and he's definitely well deserving on this list, and he wasn't picked. So at the end of the day, it is something that I'm very upset about. It is something I believe he deserves to be here. I truly believe that with all my heart, he deserves to be here. Let's put it this way. If he was on the world team, if both players were not from the United States, both players would have made it, one undoubtedly. But the fact of the matter is, they both ended up, they're both from the United States and they both didn't make it. And it's frustrating. It is frustrating. But Coby White more than a lot more than Patrick Williams, because I believe with the stats that he's had, the games that he's played, compared to other people on this list from the guard position. I mean, LaMelo Ball, you can't really complain about too much. The guy's been insane. Anthony Edwards has been good. Tyrese Halliburton has been good. Tyler Hero has been good. But I feel like Coby White is up there, if not more deserving than some of these players. So this is just another thing for me where I definitely feel like he got snubbed. But again, as a Bulls fan, there's going to be a little bit of bias in that. I know what Tyler Hero brings to the Miami Heat. I watch the Miami Heat very often. I like the way that they play. I obviously rate the Jimmy Butlers there. And of course, you support your former Bulls players. But in my opinion, there needs to be, Coby White deserves to be in there. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to say any of these players are bad. I think all of these players have bright futures, terrific futures. I think all of them makes a case for themselves and deserves to be where they are. But I feel like Coby White deserves to be on that list. And maybe statistically he won't be on that list, but I believe in this point in time, and I think all Bulls fans can agree with me when I say he should be on that list and he deserves to be where those players are right now. And statistically he won't be there, but I think we all know that he deserves to be there. And that's all I'm going to really say. There's no point ranting and complaining about these players. I like a lot of these players. Actually, I like nearly all of these players. But it is what it is. You have to take it on the chin and move on. There is a little bit of frustration. Of course, there will be. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. The All-Stars, we all know some of these selections are very biased. Same with the All-Star game itself. You can't have it all. Zach LaVine has made an All-Star game. That is something I'm very proud of. And I can accept the fact that two of our rookies that deserve to be there probably are not there. I can accept that fact because I know that there's going to be brighter things for these guys to come. And hopefully those bright things come sooner than later. Hopefully playoff basketball is on the horizon because I'd take playoff basketball any day over these two making a Rising Stars game. And Patrick Williams will have another chance at it next year. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Have a wonderful and safe day. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video. Take care and peace.